The belief in the healing and problem-solving power of the recitation of specific Quranic verses and chapters is a well-established and deeply rooted aspect of Islamic tradition, based on the Quran itself, the Hadith, sayings and actions of the Prophet Muhammad, and the Sunnah, his practices. This practice is known as Ruqya, which is the Islamic practice of treating sickness and problems through specific Quranic verses, prayers, dua, and remembrances of Allah. When it adheres to specific guidelines, it is called Ruqya Shar'iyya, legitimate Ruqya. Here is a breakdown of the evidence and the specific verses and chapters used for this purpose. 1. Foundation in the Quran. The Quran explicitly describes itself as a healing and a mercy for believers. Surah Al-Isra, 17:82. And we send down of the Quran that which is healing and mercy for the believers, but it does not increase the wrongdoers except in loss. Surah Fussilat, 41:44, say, it is, for those who believe, a guidance and a cure. Surah Yunus, 10:57. O mankind, there has come to you instruction from your Lord and healing for what is in the breasts and guidance and mercy for the believers. 2. Foundation in the Hadith and Sunnah. The Prophet Muhammad not only confirmed this but also practiced and prescribed specific chapters and verses for healing and protection. A. The Muawwit, the verses of seeking refuge. The Prophet Muhammad consistently recited the last 3 chapters of the Quran for protection and healing and taught his companions to do the same. Surah Al-Ikhlas, 112, Surah Al-Falaq, 113, and Surah An-Nas, 114. Hadith, Sunan Abi Dawud, the Prophet said, O Uqba ibn Amir, shall I not teach you surahs the like of which have not been revealed in the Torah, nor in the Zabur, Psalms, nor in the Injil, Gospel, nor in the Quran? There, say, He is Allah, the One, Surah Al-Ikhlas, and, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the Daybreak, Surah Al-Falaq, and, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of Mankind, Surah An-Nas. You shall not recite them every night without them being a protection for you from every evil, from the evil eye, and from the evil of the jinn. Hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, the Prophet would blow over himself with these 3 surahs during his illness from which he passed away. When his pain became severe, Aisha, Ra, would recite these over him and wipe his hands over his body hoping for its blessing. B. Surah Al-Fatiha, the opening. The first chapter of the Quran is considered the greatest surah and is explicitly used for healing. Hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, a group of the Prophet's companions were in a desert. They encountered a tribal chief who had been stung by a scorpion. One of the companions recited only Surah Al-Fatiha over the chief, and he was cured. When they told the Prophet, he smiled and said, How did you know that it, Al-Fatiha, is a Ruqya? He then approved of their action and accepted the ransom they were paid. See Ayat al-Kursi, the throne verse, Surah al-Baqarah, 2:255. This is considered the greatest verse in the Quran. Hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, the Prophet said, Whoever recites Ayat al-Kursi after every obligatory prayer, nothing prevents him from entering paradise except death. Hadith, Sahih Muslim, Abu Hurairah, Ra, reported that the Prophet assigned him to guard the Ramadan charity. A thief came, and after being caught 3 times, he told Abu Hurairah that if he let him go, he would teach him words that would protect him from Satan. The words were Ayat al-Kursi. Abu Hurairah reported this to the Prophet, who confirmed, He told you the truth, although he is a liar, referring to the thief being a devil. D. The last 2 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, 2:285 to 286. Hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim, the Prophet said, "Whoever recites the last 2 verses of Surah al-Baqarah at night, they will suffice him." Suffice him is understood to mean protect him from evil, satanic whispers, and harm during the night. Common practices and applications, based on tradition, based on the above and other narrations, Muslims use these and other verses for general protection and morning, evening remembrances, adhkar, reciting the Muawwid, Ayat al-Kursi, and the last 2 verses of al-Baqarah in the morning and evening is a widespread sunnah for daily protection. Healing from physical illness. A person or a healer may recite verses, especially al-Fatiha, the Muawwid, and other verses speaking of healing, and blow lightly over the sick person or over water that is then drunk or used for ablution. Protection from the evil eye and envy. The evil eye is recognized in Islam. Ruqya with the prescribed verses is the primary remedy. Treatment of magic and possession, jinn, specific, lengthy. Ruqya sessions involving the recitation of a wide range of Quranic verses, especially those challenging disbelief and affirming God's power, are used to treat cases believed to be caused by black magic or jinn possession. Easing difficulties and anxiety. Reciting the Quran for its calming effect is common. A famous Hadith Qudsi, a divine saying, states, "I am as my servant thinks I am. I am with him when he makes mention of me, and if he seeks refuge in me, I protect him." Reciting verses about Allah's mercy and power brings peace to the heart. Important conditions and disclaimers. Ruqya Shar'iyya. Islamic tradition sets clear conditions for Ruqya to be legitimate. It must be done with the speech of Allah, Quran, His names, and attributes. It must be in Arabic or a language understood by the person. One must have firm belief, yaqeen, that the healing comes from Allah alone, not from the recitation itself. It must not involve any shirk, polytheism, such as calling upon jinn, saints, or using talismans with unknown symbols. It does not replace medical treatment. The sunnah of the Prophet is to seek both means, the material, medicine, and the spiritual, ruqya. He said, "O servants of Allah, seek medicine, for Allah did not create a disease without creating a cure for it." Sunan al-Tirmidhi. In summary, the recitation of specific Quranic verses for healing and problem-solving is a firmly established and integral part of Islamic spirituality and practice, directly derived from the Quran, the Hadith, and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad.